Hey guys, my name is Jazmyne Hao. I'm the Dragon of Malice here on Wrestling Road Stories.
Awesome. Thank you for being with me. I appreciate your time. I know you're really busy. So let's just jump right into it and hit us with your worst road story.
Worst road story. Okay. Well, I was coming back from Jersey. It was really dark and it was raining. I was driving on the highway. Like the weather was terrible. Heavy rain, very hard wind. The car started hydroplaning actually. Um, so I was just driving, listening to my stories that Keith does not like. And as I'm driving, I see this lady on the side of the road. I think her car broke down or something, but I could not see her face whatsoever. She had her hand out. I guess she was like she was trying to ask for a ride or something. And there's just like something really off about that because the weather was very terrible. Why are you standing outside? Like, I mean, I could see the hood popped up, but it's like, I don't know, just something about her was throwing me off. So, and I had to drive slow because of the car. So, so something about that just like weirded me out. And it's so funny that that happens as I'm listening to these stories. Um, and I was with some people, but they were like asleep at the time, so I was the only person witnessing this. And yeah, I think that's like the worst road story I've ever had, in my opinion.
I got you. Yeah, I was gonna say you listen to scary stories while you're driving down the road. Then you got the lady on the side of the road in the rain. Yeah, I wouldn't have stopped either. I'm with you. All right, so on that same, let's hit up a good road story. I'm sure you probably have several, especially being part of the squad. So
Yeah, so I actually have one that was actually really funny. But okay, so me and Gail, and her husband Cooper and our other friend Taylor. So we were heading up to Philly. Um and we had went to a show. Um and we were just waiting for the show to start. So Cooper, he goes to a dispensary to get us some edibles, right? And so he's sitting there. Well, he comes back and he eats about like, I'd say like about five of them, and I had three of them. I didn't know how much like was in them because I didn't read the pack. I think he tore them out the pack or something like that. I think they were like 150 milligrams each, and I had three of those. So let's just say that the rest of my day was very interesting. So the show starts, right, and I'm sitting down with them, and it's like I see the action in the ring, and it's just like wrestling. And for some reason everything was like incredibly like funny to me. Like things that like people would say, "Oh crap, that was really cool." It was just like really funny to me. So I was just sitting there laughing the entire show. And when we left, like the comments that I was making was just, so this is the funny part. So as I'm sitting down watching the show, right? We all have a group chat together. I for some reason I couldn't say anything. Like no matter how much I really wanted to say something, I could not say anything. I know this isn't a road story. It's like half a road story, but it's just really funny. But anyways, yeah, I just couldn't say anything. So I text them in the group chat everything that like I'm trying to say. And Gail, she looks over at me and she's like, "Hey, buddy, you know you can just talk to us, right?" So I'm just like texting the group chat everything that I want to say but for some reason, for the life of me, I cannot say. So more down the line after the show, we went to go get dinner, and um, Bob Keller is sitting in front of me. I ordered a steak, and I'm sitting here cutting my steak, literally about to fall asleep in my steak, and he's just saying the funniest stuff ever, just making fun of me, in his voice, and it's like a moment I will never, like, that day is something I will never forget, because even um when we were like literally everywhere we had to walk, Gail had to hold my hand like I was a toddler. It was hilarious. It was probably one of the funniest days that I've ever had in my entire life. But yeah, that concludes the day that I had in Philly.
Before I get into the questions, I did want to ask you one question. How was it fighting O'Shea?
O'Shea, fighting him was like a battle. Um Man, when I wrestled him, it was most likely probably the best match of my career. Like, wrestling him was fun. God knows that I was feeling like shit after the match. I was in so much pain, but it was a fight that I was looking forward to. It was a fight that I want. He's really great to work with. Love the guy. Would totally wrestle him every chance that I can.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, when I heard that you were gonna wrestle him, I was like, I wish I was there in person. But then I saw clips of it, and I was like, oh my, yeah, you guys went hard, and he didn't hold back on you, and I thought that was
he,
awesome, right?
he didn't, and I appreciate him for that.
Yep, full respect. You gotta love that. So, all right, so let's just jump right into our questions here. Where's your go-to place to eat when you're traveling?
If I'm up in the northern area, it'd probably be Wawa. Um, Anywhere else, it would be like some of the good like local places that I can just grab and go and still drive. But most of the time, if I see a Wawa, I'm going there. Like, I think earlier last year or the year before that, I had no idea what Wawa was. Um, because down here all we have is like Sheets and
Yep.
QT. But once I went to like up more up north, like, and I went to Wawa, and especially I had some of their food and their coffee. I was like, man, this is the best gas station coffee ever. And it's like I'm very picky with coffee. Like, I like to make my either. I like to make my own, and I just can't drink it anywhere else. Like, I feel like I have to make it myself for it to be good. But literally the first Wawa cup of coffee I had, I was instantly in love. I'm like, man, I have to have a cup of coffee from this place every time I see one. So yeah, and their food is bussin'. Like, I know there's a whole debate about Sheets versus Wawa. Wawa is knocking Sheets out of the gate 100%. I don't care what no one says.
I feel you, yeah. So that's why when Keith was talking about Sheets, you were like, ah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm with that. I'm with that. No, yeah, I've had Wawa before. Being from Jersey, yeah, that's one of my spots. So that's why I was born and raised out that way. So I'm with you on that. All right. So the next one is a two-part question. Who was your first favorite wrestler, and who is your favorite wrestler currently?
My first favorite wrestler was Edge. Like, that guy was amazing. He still is amazing. My current favorite wrestlers, I'm gonna have to say two, because for some reason I just cannot choose between them. One of them, the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. The other, the Ace Hiroshi Tanahashi. Those are my two favorite wrestlers currently.
Oh man, all good choices for sure. Yeah, I'm with that. I'm like I said on when I was talking to Keith, like I'm partial to Anvil, but like when it comes to the guys like Sting, like he tops the charts for me. So but I like your answers as well. I mean, Edge, me being older than you guys, that makes my wrestler guys are older, but
Yeah.
Edge is dope, and he's one of our North Carolina dudes. So,
Yeah.
all right. So, who is your favorite person to wrestle?
Well, actually, he's literally the guy we just mentioned earlier, O'Shea Edwards. Literally my favorite person to wrestle. Even though I've only had one match with him, I wish I could have like 10 with him. But yeah, my favorite person to wrestle.
Okay. No, I'm with that. Like, yeah, I mean, exactly for the reasons we discussed. I mean, he definitely treats you with respect, and you guys went back, and you guys went hard. So, all right. So the next one is: do you have a Ricky Morton story?
Unfortunately, I do not. I'm probably one of the only people who does not.
We had someone else recently that did not. Oh, I can't remember who it was, but yeah, that's a wild one. I'm sure there's one coming at some point. It's gonna happen. What about George South? Do you have a George South story?
Well, that there's a lot of stories about George South. My personal one, it's you'd expect to hear something funny from George, but like this one, I always tell people the story because it's like it's so George, and it was probably he's one of my trainers, so this is like really it's a really inspiring story to me. So this was during like my first ever match. My first ever match. I was so nervous. I didn't want to wrestle. I had got into my gear and everything. I we had called a match and it had started raining, but like the nervousness was getting to me. I didn't want to wrestle at all. I told George, hey, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this at all. And he's like, you're doing this. You're doing this. So he's just giving me the story, telling me that I can do it. I can do this. And I as he was telling me this, I'm just standing there like, hey man, I really don't want to do this. Like the was just getting to me, but like he talked to me, like he got to me, and I felt like when I went through that curtain, all his words were just in my head the entire time, and he made me do it. He's like, hey, you're doing this.
That's awesome. Like, yeah. So I feel like if George told me I could do something, I can do it. So to hear you say that, I get it.
Yeah, so me myself, I didn't think I could do it. I didn't want to do it,
Yeah,
but he told me he told me I could, so I did it.
that's awesome. And now look, you're still doing it. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So then our last question is: if you could only watch one wrestling match for the rest of your life, what would it be?
So this is so hard because we all watch wrestling for a lot of different things. Like some people they watch it for the graps, just the wrestling part of it. Some people really love the entertainment part of it. But if I had to watch one match for the rest of my life, or over and over, it would probably be Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Shinsuke Nakamura in the finals of the G1 Climax 25.
I have not seen that match, but I've heard of that match, and just knowing both of those guys, I
It,
could
it it
imagine.
it was an amazing match. I was on my edge the entire time. I've probably rewatched that match like over 30 times.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to find that. That sounds like it would be amazing. Yeah, them two top tier guys, quick, strong style. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm for it.
I definitely recommend watching that match. Probably tomorrow for you. I don't know if you have to go to bed or anything, but
Yeah,
please watch that match as soon as you can.
I will. I'll check that out for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a night owl. There's a possibility I can find it tonight, and I'll burn through it. But yeah,
Well, if you
no,
do
that
find it, please let me know your thoughts on it.
okay. I will definitely. No, that's awesome. All right. So now that we've wrapped up the questions, where can everyone find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Jazmyne Hao. You can find me on Twitter at JasmineX0, and you can find me on Facebook at Jazmyne Hao as well.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, we'll definitely we'll flash those up on the screen during your episode, and we'll let you know. Hopefully we get some more people on you. You're definitely one to watch. I know I enjoy it. I haven't actually. I think I've met you once in person. That might have been over WrestleCade. So I'm hoping to see
Maybe.
you. Yeah, yeah. So I'm hoping to see some more of you at some point. But thank you very much for being on here with us, or with me, I should say.
You're
Um,
welcome.
yeah, and it's been a great time, and I'm sure we'll be in touch. So I'll talk to you soon. All right.
All
Have a good
right.
night.
You too.
All right. Thanks. Bye.